Yo, what is going on, sickos? Welcome into the Pickoff. I'm your host, as always. Alongside me every Tuesday now going forward is Mr. Danny Burke. This is presented by Betting News and powered by the one and only Bet Online. Danny, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you as well. Looks like we coordinated the colors a little bit here, so we're already off to a good start. Hopefully we can hopefully we can coordinate some winners along the way as well, man. But looking forward to today's show. I know you got some spicy topics for us regarding my team and another, and then someone else's topic of conversation that we're going to be hitting. So I feel like we got a good one planned.
I forgot to upload the photos, but we don't need to do that. Let's get into that right away. I have it on my phone. People can Google it if they get mad, but it's really self-explanatory. But who wrote this? Jim Bowden with the new proposal of the realignment of the MLB. Let's just stop. We're gonna get it right off the gates. We're gonna be pissed. That there are smart ideas that Manfred has done. I kind of like the pitch clock idea.
Agreed.
Sped up the game. The players love it. The bases thing, nobody notices. Nobody knows. And also, I've never seen more stolen bases in my entire life. So I'm extremely happy for that because you and I both grew up in an era where really there wasn't a lot of stolen bases. Sure, you'd have a couple guys, Juan Pierre and Ichiro, but it was only like 5 to 8 guys that would have over 20 stolen bases in a season. I'm trying to think of what else he's done. I mean, what
about starting the runner on second in extras? What do you think about that? Because I got a good take. Well, not a good. I like that it doesn't.
I like that it doesn't happen in the playoffs. Right? It's not in the playoffs. They took that out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I like the playoffs. They should be as long as they possibly can.
Yeah. I love it during the regular season. I think it was a great idea. I mean, it makes it exciting in the first place. I mean, you have 162 games and you don't want to kill the arms of your relievers for one game that realistically isn't going to be that detrimental to most teams. So you don't need to prolong, all of these games that are going to extra innings, which, decent amount of them, at least it seems like this year. But in general, I think, it brings another element to it. Random coin flip, sure. But yeah, you don't need these to be dragged out to 17 innings long sometimes. I mean, I thought that was a great rule, and the pitch clock as well. I'm with you on the pitch clock.
But for those people that haven't seen it, the realignment that has been proposed or just drawn up is essentially your region is a division. So hypothetical, the Cubs and White Sox would be the Midwest along with the Brewers and the Twins. The East would be the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, and the Phillies. Good God, that would be awesome. But let's talk about the most unrealistic division of them all, the Pacific Coast, which would be the Rockies, Athletics, Mariners, and Giants. It's just it's stupid. It's stupid.
It is. It's classic. Let's throw something in the middle of the season to get, stories churning. I don't know, something along that basis. But the whole idea of what makes it alluring when you're playing, say, the Yankees and the Mets, the Cubs and the White Sox is because you're not playing that frequently, right? I mean, so the scarcity of it is really what makes it even more appealing and more just exciting because you only get a handful of games against them a year. If you're playing them that frequently, then it takes away that appeal. So no, that would be just absolutely idiotic and just nonsensical. I mean, of course it's never going to happen, but it's worthy of an entertaining conversation. Well, I mean, they're not going to put the Cubs and the Sox together and the Yankees and Mets, do you? I mean, that would be insane.
It would, if they did actually have realignment that made drastic impacts on to where I would have to rethink everything I said about each division because I'm so used to what I grew up on and it's been 28 years of knowledge. That would piss me off. That would drive me up the wall. Also, people do forget the Astros used to be in the NL. I don't know how
Right.
people forget that, but they do.
Yeah, that took a while to get adjusted to, for me at least. I mean, I kind of just remember, what was it, like Carlos Lee out there in left field wherever he was playing at Wrigley. Like, I have
Yeah.
vivid memories of them coming to Wrigley all the time, and yeah, now you just never see him. And that was always a good series too. So, well, is what it is. But I look, they're going to probably try to do some little thing with including more teams, but I don't think there's going to be a major shift. Anything that's going to,
Yeah.
just really flip things upside down.
What's one change in baseball you've been wanting? And then I'll throw you my silly goose one.
That's a good question. I'd have to think about that. I feel like most of the things that I kind of cared about had been addressed, like, DH and everything like that. I think that was pretty good. Why don't you go ahead and you go? Because I got to think about mine a little bit. I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
hate it. You're gonna hate it.
It's gonna give me some spark here for my idea.
There should be 2 designated steroid users on the team.
Is that person
they
have
can't
to
be
stay
playing
the whole year, or can you switch it? How does that work?
They never got this far. No one's ever asked a follow-up question. But they would only be able to play. One would only be able to be on the field at a time. So, like, if they're pitching, that's it. They can't have a hitter. So if they're hitting, they can't have a pitcher or anyone else on the team. I've always said this because I deep down think people don't realize how hard baseball is. And just because you're on steroids doesn't mean you become Jesus Christ.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, look,
Because,
it
I
was
mean,
more
think
exciting.
some of the athletes that get caught taking steroids, and you're like, I have no names at the moment. Oh, Luis Ortiz. Oh, wait, no, he gambled. Damn it. Quote unquote. Allegedly.
You know what?
This is. Go ahead.
If I was just gonna say, for rules to be changed, I think we need to go back to the OG home run derby, right? I feel like you got a strong take there with the derby, don't you? Like, I mean, that's where it needs to get back into the mix. I mean,
Give
they
them the
keep
floor,
changing it every
people.
year. It was a nightmare this year, right? I mean,
it's horrible. Bring back in. I understand it's a TV show, and I understand there's a time limit to everything. But the beauty of the Derby was enjoying every single home run hit. And we look back at Josh Hamilton's, because we always look back at Josh Hamilton's. 28 felt like 100 touchdowns. You know what I mean? It just felt so hard to get there. And now we're getting bonus time. Guys are getting almost to 30. And I went to the Derby with the new rules and the time and stuff. 3 balls are in the air at once. I want to know where. I want to watch one and then go to the next one. And I also need Chris Berman saying back.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, first of all, you're putting the kids in danger. Some poor toddler is going to get pelted out there with 4 balls in the air. And then there's just too much that is now argued, it seems like, every year with, it was the length of the home run that gives you the bonus ball. And, did he throw it before the ball landed? All of this crap that just makes it so confusing. And so
Cal Raleigh and Rooker by a
exactly.
Hair.
Dude, and then it was the Schwarber and Bryce Harper one years ago, because they were clearly favoring Bryce Harper in front of the home crowd, which unfortunately that is how it goes sometimes. But they were throwing it before it landed, to where I remember that was when Schwarber was with the Cubs, so we're all rooting for him, and he just got absolutely shafted. But no, if you went back to the original way, you would just save yourself from all of this. And you're right, it builds up the dramatics and really just the emotions for every single pitch, the old way that they had, instead of, like you said, bam, bam, bam. So that would be mine. But you went to the Derby this past year, or was it the other year?
23
when
it was in Seattle. Yeah, so I saw that and the All-Star game. Dude, it was so sick being at the home run derby. But again, if it was one at a time, it would be so much more enjoyable because it feels sped up. And what's funny is I watch it every single year. Watching this one, how did a minute 30 seconds for, what is it, 6 guys, right? Is it 6 guys? 6?
Maybe is it 8?
8 guys.
Might be
how
6.
How many, whatever the number is, I always forget. How did a minute 30 take 2 hours? Riddle me that. Riddle me that.
Yeah.
These aren't like Super Bowl commercials where it's like an extra minute and a half of a derby. No one cares except for me.
Hey, did you bring your mitt, by the way? Were you in the outfield?
No, I was. Dude, I was there when that kid got hurt and Pete was jamming to the music.
Oh, man. If you're in the outfield for a home run derby, I mean, that's acceptable to bring a mitt, though. Like when they have it at Wrigley in a couple years or whatever, I mean, those tickets are going to be expensive as hell. But I'm going to do everything I can to try to get in there, or at least hang out, on Sheffield or Wavell. I'm definitely bringing my mitt for that. I could see you with like the mega mitt, the absolutely massive one. That would be awesome.
Excuse me. Like, I'm in a seat, but I'm in an actual seat, but I'm behind home plate. Excuse me.
I thought you were leaving your seat to go grab the mega mitt right now. I thought you had one in your apartment.
Oh, I wish I had one. They gave one. They had a promotion. I forgot what stadium had it, but they gave out mega mitts. I'll have to look it up.
That's incredible. I mean,
I don't know how they did it. It had to have been like a special promo, like every single one at Wrigley, where you have to sign up for the special ticket to get it. Jeez. But also, before we get too far, there is some news. Speaking of steroids, Tommy Pham went off on Twitter last night and alleged that Addison Barger takes steroids. First of all, Tommy Pham is my least favorite baseball player. I have
very level-headed guy.
I have zero respect for that man, and him just pimping a walk and then going directly to Twitter to say somebody takes steroids when nobody really wants him on any team, and he's only on the Pirates because they're a crapshoot organization. He is hysterical. He might be my favorite comedian.
Did he delete the tweet, or am I just not able to find it right now?
Check Gate 14's Twitter account because they definitely quoted it. Because Johnny and Avery were having a field day with that.
Well, the best thing about Tommy Pham is he's going to have something new every season, right? Like he's got no lack of content or entertainment. Like it doesn't matter what
he's always mouthing off to fans. He has no chill. He thinks he's the tough guy because he slapped Jock Peterson. I just can't stand him. I always try to like not say this, but I'm just going to say that because it just feels like this because he's a reactionary guy. He's like the MLB's Russell Westbrook, but I like Russell Westbrook. I've always loved Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's more of a likable guy than Tommy Pham. But in terms of like reactions to stuff, Russ does give you a pretty good reaction. Tommy's just a D-bag.
By the way, the tweet is deleted. And when I was looking at it, I completely forgot.
The Players Association should suspend him.
I forgot one of the reasons last year why he had the disputes because he who did he slap for the fantasy football thing?
That was Jock Peterson. That was years ago.
Jock Peterson, that's right. Yeah, that one.
That's how I found out who he was.
Right.
That's how I found out who he was. I was like, who's
that's
Tommy
just the best.
Pham?
Just knowing that fantasy football knows no limits. It doesn't matter who you are, how famous you are, what sport you're, how much money you make. There's a lot of intensity in fantasy football. It's incredible.
One time when I had a podcast back in DePaul, I followed him and he was on Instagram Live, and I was like, "Come on my podcast," and he goes, "I don't do talking."
As he's on Instagram Live.
As he's on Instagram Live, I was like, "Yeah, okay, Tommy, you just made yourself an arch nemesis, and I will hold that grudge till I die." Oh my God, we've been goofing off for 15 minutes. I have an actual discussion that we can dig our toes into.
Oh yeah.
And I threw this out there on Saturday when I was with Jake Hassan. And it's more of, would you rather be this team right now or that team? And this edition happens to be Danny Burke's favorite baseball team, along with the Milwaukee Brewers, his arch nemesis, the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, as of right now, there are hot streaks going on. They lost, right? They lost to the Reds in game 2, I believe. Or is it's not still going?
You mean for the Cubs and the Brewers are playing right now?
So the Brewers winning streak's over with, correct? Just from
over the week, I can't. Well, they're losing right now.
Yeah,
6-4
last game against the Reds. That's correct.
Against the Reds.
I didn't want to be wrong.
Let me double check. Yeah, the Reds beat them on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay,
and
that's what I
extras,
thought.
I think.
With that hot streak coming to a close, I'm sure there's still going to be mushing along, getting more wins, but it's still August. We still have another month to finish the season. Would you rather be the ice cold Cubs or the scorching hot Brewers right now?
So now there's a little bit of an asterisk from my standpoint on this. Does this mean that like I'm committed to this team for only for the rest of this season or for like the next couple of years?
Going into the playoffs.
Okay.
Who would you rather be? As
All
of
right.
today, and you don't know what's going to happen in the future, but you have baseball knowledge of when's the right time to get hot. Because I'll just jump the gun. My argument is I don't care how cold the Cubs are. I would rather be the Cubs right now. I don't want to go into October hot, or I don't want to go into August scorching hot and potentially not being able to keep that momentum rolling into October, while the Cubs have I think 40 games. I think it's 40-something games still to go. They still have time to grab some momentum and figure this thing out. However, I saw how Council looked yesterday. That man looks like he saw multiple dead bodies last night. I've never seen a coach that upset.
Yeah, and it's about time. I mean, something needs to happen there. They need to get some fire. They've needed to get that for a while. And I know when you brought this up to me, I was, appalled that I was like, what are you going to choose the Cubs here? And you're like, I got something. And then I thought about it.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, yeah. And kind of like what you said. I mean, with the Brewers, you and I had this discussion last week. We kind of still think that this team is lacking a superstar in the offensive department. So realistically, their ceiling may be just winning one playoff series, right? And it's a tougher national league. Yeah. And then, like you said, I mean, you're getting hot right now. Will they cool off? Or is the pressure just going to amount to them because of how well they did? And now teams know what to expect even more so. And you have that even bigger target on you. Whereas with the Cubs, you've been disappointing your fans and everybody's been witnessing how poor you've been for so long that not the idea that you're playing with house money, but it's like the bar is set a lot lower. So you can almost go in there with looser feels as opposed to the Brewers who are maybe more uptight because it's like, oh, wow, no, we've been playing like the best team in baseball. We should be winning the World Series. And yes, any team in the postseason, that is your goal and your expectation. But realistically, you kind of know what your limitations are. In the Cubs, with that kind of idea, maybe it does help them. But again, I've said from the beginning of the year, also their ceiling is winning one playoff series. I get the route that you're taking. I would still take the Brewers just because I know how utterly disappointing that this Cubs team is. And the Brewers still have a great pitching staff to where the Cubs don't have that and they don't have hitting right now. But I see where you're getting at. I don't think it's a crazy thing to say, although people outside of us may think we're absolutely lunatics for even having the conversation. But I certainly get the approach you know what I mean, though? Like people who don't like realize how sickening Cubs baseball can be on a day-to-day basis type, like
it's just the city.
Yeah, right. So, I mean,
it's just the city. We could talk Bears if you want, if it's easier.
See, you don't want to talk Bears now after they just had a great game, baby. Come on, the season's over. 38-0. Preseason matters, Colby. We know this.
I forgot who said this to me. It was my girlfriend who was like, "Do the Bills suck now?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "No." I don't think it was her though.
No, Colby, the thing that's driving me crazy, and I went on a rant with you and Shaggy about everybody freaking out about Caleb, right? So I was like, everybody calm down, blah, blah, blah. I won't get into it again. But now the other side of that coin is now you have every Bears fan freaking out for Caleb because of a preseason drive or two. So you have both sides of these people where it's like people are like freaking out that he's going to stink because of a couple training camps with a brand new coach. And then the other side of people freaking out because he had a good drive in preseason. Everybody needs to shut the hell up and just let the season unfold and wait to see what happens. It is so damn annoying. Like, you get
it's
national media pundits. Yeah, it's just so annoying. Just my
Colin
goodness.
Coward's like, I got nothing else to talk about, so let's just talk about Caleb being the man. Shut up.
Last week he was just shooting him down, and then he got McIntyre going, this guy's Johnny Manziel. Just the most asinine comment I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, first of all, McIntyre, he also said Chicago's a war zone. Don't know what you're talking about. Do not know what you're talking about, sir. That pisses me off the most is when people talk about a place they've never been and clearly don't know anything about. Please. God. But I think they turn it around. I don't know what they need. They need like a Boone Savages in the box type thing from Council, but that's not in him.
Yeah, definitely. That would be nice.
We don't refer to it as Chirac unless we're listening to Chief Keef, man. Yeah. Oh, God. Danny, what else we got on the docket to talk about? I'm trying to think. It really was a slow weekend. It was
I feel like we recycle a lot of the same topics, but it's because they're interesting and they are the most
that's what I was trying
right
to
now.
Yeah.
Right. But I did want to pick your brain a little bit on a more serious note. I mean, about your Yankees, because you and I have some investment on them with the MVP race, but then just in general of where we were envisioning them ending up at the end of the year. And obviously they're neck and neck with the Mariners and the Red Sox. Big series against the Cardinals. So one, want to get your thoughts on that. And if this team is finally turning a corner, we can start to trust them. And then two, just your updated thoughts on the AL MVP race.
It's Judge. It's over with. It's really over with, I think.
Are you trying to speak it into existence, or you firmly believe that?
I firmly believe that.
All right, good.
Cal Raleigh continues to prove me right that he can't do anything but hit home runs. That's all he does. And honestly, I'm kicking myself for not betting it on Sunday when a certain book boosted it to 300. I was like, isn't even a good matchup? And I'm like, it's 300 for Cal Raleigh. I'm like, you're not going to see that anymore. But they're turning it around. I mean, I don't know how you can weigh in a series against the Cardinals when that's just the most mid team in all baseball. Now they're playing the Rays this week. Another team that I have no respect for, had hit their ceiling 3 months ago. I have their under on their win total. That looks like a walk in the park right now.
They kind of, but they're getting some sneaky wins here and there, though. I think I don't know if it's going to be like an electric series, but I think it'll be a pretty fascinating one to watch unfold. I don't know. Maybe that's just still out on them.
I'm out on them, like in the sense of World Series. I can totally see them making the playoffs. I would rather the Guardians make the playoffs over the Yankees just because of my wallet wishes that would happen. But I don't even think the Guardians make it, to be honest. I think that the three teams hunting in the playoffs right now are just going to stay that way.
Yeah, realistically, I'm just looking at the standings here, and I didn't even realize how bad this Mariners run differential was compared to, well, the Guardians is minus 32, but the Yankees are plus 99, Red Sox plus 91, Mariners are only plus 26. Just more a reinforcement of why you and I just absolutely despise.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I interviewed Keith Law Saturday, and I asked him about how he feels about the Mariners, and I said, I think they're the biggest frauds in baseball, and he went, I have them winning the AL. And I was like, all right.
And he made great points. For coming on.
And he made great points. Like, I didn't disagree with anything he said. He said that they went out and got the right guys. I agree with that. They got what they had to get.
They did what they needed to do. Right. Correct.
Yeah. They were one of the hungriest teams at the deadline, excluding the Padres. You got one of the more consistent bats that were out there to play first base, Josh Naylor. You get Eugenio Suarez, who hits a home run every 4 weeks now, apparently. Still batting under 230, I believe. But you had to get somebody. And who were they? I don't even know who they had at third base before. But it's still a good roster. It's a good team. If the pitching can hit its strides, they're very dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, that's how they've always been with the staff.
What? Still don't trust them.
No offense. Hey, I got to ask you, because you and I obviously didn't do a show yesterday. I was looking at that game, and, it was funny because I think it must have been some show we were doing last week where we were talking about Logan Gilbert and his home and road splits. And I saw that matchup against Philadelphia and Suarez. I was like, man, it seems like a great spot for Philly, not to be the guy who goes back and goes like, oh, I bet I won. But the Phillies just absolutely embarrassed him. And I was hoping and thinking that you were hopefully fading him as well in that spot, just out of your disdain for the Mariners. Oh,
No,
man.
I forgot. But also, this is a great topic because that's a great series to talk about because I am close to starting to get on a hate train with the Phillies. No offense to anyone out there. I'm about to start treating the Phillies the same way I treat the Mariners
Well,
because
the Guardians are your
they
team this year. The Phillies are my team, so I take that a little personally. Just
that's fine.
letting you
That's
know.
fine. But you'll agree with what I have to say. This series, I won't be shocked if the Phillies sweep the Mariners in this series. If
Agreed.
roles were reversed, it would be the exact same thing because the Phillies can't play on the road and the Mariners really can't play on the road. You go look at their road splits, the Phillies are like 500. This is one of the teams that are regarded as one of the best in baseball. They cannot play on the road. If you can't play outside of the bank, you're not going to go deep in the playoffs. I'm sorry. They can't score. It's anytime I see a Phillies game and I'm like, ooh, do I want to be on Schwarber or maybe Harper today? I'm like, oh, it's on the road. No, I don't.
I hear you. I get it. But how much can we okay, I don't want to go too crazy because obviously we
No,
do have
hold
to
on.
take
There's some wheeze in chat.
But here's the thing, though. And again, what I was going to say, you do need to take it into account in the postseason, home and road split, sure. But at the same time, baseball is such a unique postseason environment that I'm not going to go too crazy with that personally, especially with a team with a great pitching staff, capable offense, and the postseason experience. I'm also just defending my team that I've been rooting for all year outside of the Cubbies. So I feel okay about Philadelphia. They were like my top bet in terms of my only bet in terms of like a future for a team to win the division. And yeah, I mean, look, this team has been electric. They've been picking it up. I think they'll be fine. And this all leads me to saying I also love them tonight too. So one of my favorite bets.
How could you not? How could you not? Hold on, I'm trying to see. So this is a team that is 14th in first 5 runs at home, almost 3 runs a game, or in the first 5, excuse me. What do you think they average in the first 5 on the road?
I kind of remember. I feel like you said this the other week. It's got to be. Is it sub 2?
No, it's 2.08. They're barely sniffing 2. Barely. And if you watch them, you're like, they're averaging 2 in the first 5 innings. It's baffling how much they choke on the road.
All right, but wait, let's put this into perspective a little bit here, okay? Just looking at some home and road numbers. So the Phillies on the road, they're 34-32 this year. The Astros are only 31-29. The Mariners are 31-33. The Blue Jays are sub 500 on the road, 31-32. The Mets are 25-34 on the road. The Brewers, they're in their own ballpark here at 37-25. Dodgers are 30-30. So I think it was the Brewers 37-25 are the best. It looks like Tigers 34-29. So nobody's really dominating on the road this year.
A road dominant team.
So, but I get what you're like. It's just like when you're looking at Philadelphia on the road, it's still looking.
Actually,
like
say those teams again. Let me flip it around. So the best team on the road in terms of scoring: Milwaukee, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Diamondbacks. Surprisingly, the Texas Rangers are better on the road scoring in the first 5 than they are at home. The Angels, dude, these are all mid teams. Let me go through this list. After the Milwaukee Brewers and the Yankees and Boston, Arizona, it's Texas, Chicago, exclude them because I said mid. The Cubs aren't mid. Angels, Giants, Royals, Reds, Tigers, Rays, Atlanta, Miami, Washington, San Diego, Dodgers, Seattle, A's, Mets, and then so on and so forth. So, like, the really good teams struggle on the road. That's so wild that we're now finding this out. No one talks about it. So, we're going to hit the panic button for all the good teams that have to play on the road in this postseason.
It's just, all these series are just going to go back and forth the entire time.
It'll be all 7-game series.
Right. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, again, it's like that is a frustrating thing about baseball because you see these teams in those situations where it's still a good matchup. You get a little bit better price because they're on the road. And yeah, I mean, you don't want to take home field too much into your handicap all the time, but certainly it does play to to a limited degree. And yeah, I could see it. Maybe anecdotally speaking, the Phillies have just tormented you when you've looked to bet them on the road from time to time. So
Yeah, when they were on the south side and they looked like, I don't know, the White
wow.
Sox.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dude, I need Schwarber to start hitting more nukes. I also need Lindor to start hitting some nukes. Jose Ramirez start hitting some nukes. I need these futures to cash. Let me see what Jose Ramirez is at right now. 25. I think he's been there for a week. Lindor, I think, is still at Lindor. Yes, I hope Lindor homers tonight. 24. Okay, we're almost there. So I almost need 5 home runs from both in a month and a half. It's doable. That's a 4-1 parlay, by the way, for both of them to have 30 home runs.
Okay, yeah, I was curious what you were sweating out there with Francisco Lindor.
Yeah. I was like, they could definitely get 30. Asking for 5. Yeah. And Lindor's heating up.
Yeah, like we were saying that we do need, or like you were saying, we do need Schwarber to get going too. It's getting a little the 4 home run difference, while it doesn't seem that big just based on the limited amount of time left in the season. No bueno with the bet that
shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
I think we abandoned that train 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately,
that's been dead. That's been dead before he was injured. So I don't even feel that anymore.
That one sucked.
But
we're on to Aaron Judge MVP. That's what we need to solve all our problems.
I don't have anything on him.
I thought you ended up betting him a couple weeks ago, because that's what I took a little piece of him like 2 weeks ago. So now that's why I was also very infatuated with your answer today, that you're saying
I should have taken it when it was plus money. Yeah, I should have taken it with plus money.
You still may get a chance to get him at even money, because the more the home runs separate with Cal, which it shouldn't be the reason for this, you and I are on the same page, but the more of that, I think the more that public sentiment may shift it. So like there's still maybe one more opportunity if Judge has a couple bad games and you get Calda. I think he was like minus 140 at one book. I only looked at one book, but
if you could get parlay him to get a home run, you could just keep parlaying him to get a home run at his MVP.
That sounds miserable. Maybe you could get him like minus 120 at one point in this
minus
next
140, $1.40. That's not worth it.
No, not now at minus 140, but this voting for MVP is going to be a big, pretty big litmus test going forward of what to expect. I feel like for what's now.
I'm pretty sure Keith Law mentioned that it's Judge. I forgot what he said, but I'm pretty sure he still said it was Judge. He also said he's voting on, I think, NL Rookie this year. So I didn't even know they rotated where they voted. I thought they all got a vote.
Yeah, I didn't know it would rotate either. That kind of
I didn't know it was assigned. He's like, yeah, this year I have the NL Rookie of the Year. I was like, why couldn't Judge and Raleigh have elbow? Dude, and then Scooble could come in.
Yeah, Scooble.
All right, let's get in today. Let's get in today. You already alluded to it. Let's keep the Phillies chatter going. Tell me about the Phils tonight. Tell me how the Mariners are going to choke. Cal Raleigh strikes out 4 times, potentially gets a 5th at bat, but they switch him out because his knees are tired, and I'm just yapping along. Don't bother me. Tell me what you got.
All right. Like you said, you expected it here, but yeah, Phillies on the run line got it at about plus 110. So they were a good hit last night, running them back. But last night, they were more on the money line. Here, you're going to have to really go with the run line to get some value at that plus 110 area. Christopher Sanchez has been a great pitcher to back this year. The Southpaw still playing with some motivation after getting snubbed in the All-Star game. His numbers have been outstanding. Colby's got a 2.05 ERA, 2.86 xFIP. allowing just 0.60 home runs per 9 innings pitch, only walking 2 batters per 9 innings pitch, is a 20% strikeout to walk ratio. And guess what? Seattle last month against lefties, they're 18th in weighted runs created plus at just 92, and their ISO's just 170. But the real big reason as to why the Phillies are appealing tonight is fading Bryce Miller, 154 whip for the righty, 573 ERA, 502 xFIP. He's got a 7.4% strikeout to walk ratio, alarmingly low to say the least. And it's been this way for quite some time. I mean, there's no positives, really, any indications that it's going to get better for him. I mean, he's given up 1,500 runs his last 5 games, and the numbers don't indicate there's going to be any improvement. So why should we believe it's going to happen on the road against the Phillies, who are third in weighted runs created plus against righties during the last month at 123, lead Major League Baseball in ISO in that span against righties, 217, all over the Phillies tonight. Love them. The home merchants, like we were saying, why not happen again this
Home
evening?
merchants. The home merchants. All right. I only have one player prop today, and I hate that I only have one because this is the biggest slate of the week. I always say that. There's tomorrow and whatnot, but you know what I'm saying. If everything's at night, I like it like that. Everything's at night. I like that. But only found one. I got to boost both the bases and the home run. I got limited, so I threw a little bit more on the bases, but this is just delectable. This is just price-wise. Roman Anthony over 1.5 bases sprinkled on his home run. Yesterday had 2 hits. Prior to that, he had 3 Prior to that, 3 of his last 5 games went hitless. This will be his 11th elite rating on the season. And in the last 10, 90% hit rate, 40% 2 hits, 80% over his bases. Small sample size. It really doesn't mean anything, but it's kind of cool that he's been great when he's elite. Gets to take on Mr. Segato, who has a poor rating today, poor ISO, poor hard contact, poor K percentage. Not almost everything, almost everything. We got a couple of guys down below here that'll rattle off that have everything. Allowing 37% hard contact on the road as a 7.59 ERA, 8.87 expected ERA, and this is for Danny Burke. 486 xFIP. Hitters are batting 349 expected batting average, 667 expected slugging, 458 expected WOBA. Last 90 lefties faced have a 448 expected batting average, 769 expected slugging, 436 expected WOBA, and he's allowing 46% hard contact during that span. I love the spot for him. And I was tempted to dabble maybe on Boston first 5 team total, but they haven't been hot. They haven't been hot as of late, and I was like, I'm going to stay off. I'm going to stick with Roman Anthony. Also, if Mr. Duran hits a home run tonight or does anything over Roman Anthony, I'm going to put a hole in the wall because I had a debate with either him or Roman Anthony, and I went with the guy that has been doing less because I always expect them to boom, while Duran has had like 4 doubles in the last 3 days. So I'll put a hole in the wall if it's Duran tonight.
So you're saying the rest of us should bet Duran just a little bit, just to,
just put like $1 on it. So you're like, at least I was there.
Right. This game fascinates me, Colby. This was probably the game I was closest to getting involved with. And it's funny, you were talking about the Red Sox first 5. I was actually leaning a little bit toward the Orioles first 5 money line, just because of the plus money and because, look, I don't like anything about Sugano here or Sagano, pardon me, but I mean, like his expected ERA is at 5.69, and he's given up almost 2 home runs per 9 innings. But you went through all the numbers. Awful. I get it. But Walker Buehler's been that much worse than him.
Hold on. Let's just simplify this. What's the over in the first 5?
Well, so then that's the other thing. Like the full game's at 9, so I'm presuming it's at 4.5. Maybe some shops have it at 5. The wind was blowing in a little bit. And it seems like any time we try to get on Baltimore. Actually, they did come through on the money line plus money last week, but the other time we did, I just remember they disappointed us, so it left a sour taste in our mouth. But yeah, on paper, this game should have 10 to 11 runs.
5.
The weather's not the best. A little chillier. Wind's blowing in a little bit, but it's still Fenway, and it's still two crappy pitchers.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to pay for an over 5 at
I'd rather just take the full game over. If there are still nines out there at like -118, -120.
123 is the best number, but it's 9. I don't even know what a good number is on the over. So everyone have fun. Everyone have fun. Danny, you got one more for us.
I do. This played out nicely, Colby, because doubleheader today. The second game of what was supposed to be the doubleheader yesterday got canceled or postponed, whatever. So they're doing it today. Cubs won the game they were supposed to win out of the 2 games today. They had Matthew Boyd on the bump going against Chad Patrick. Patrick's numbers aren't too bad, but again, that's a spot the Cubs had to have after yesterday's embarrassing performance and just because of the pitching matchup. Now, completely flips in favor of Milwaukee for game 2. And I took it before these games happened, hoping this was going to be the case. I'm assuming it's probably trending even more so toward Milwaukee, but I got the Brewers at about -105. Brandon Woodruff taking the bump last I was checking, and obviously, doing the listed pitchers, but 206 ERA, 227 expected ERAs, xFIP's right at 3. 100% left on base percentage. It's because when he's given up runs, it's just all home runs. So that's a little bit of his liability. But again, the last I checked, the wind was blown in at Wrigley. A lot of runs in that first game, but the Cubs haven't really been hitting it. I don't think they're going to have this momentum necessarily carrying just from that first game. 36% hard hit, 8% barrel. Again, this guy's numbers are outstanding. On the other side, looked like Jameson Taillon is taking the boost coming back from that injured calf. And even before that, Colby, his numbers were no bueno. I mean, 4.44 ERA, expected ERA is right around there. His FIP's at 5.19. He's given up about 2 home runs per 9 innings pitched. He's got a really low ground ball rate and over 10% barrel rate. Cubs bullpen's depleted from having to go in it early yesterday, then the game today. Now you're going here, and more often than not, you get the double headers that split. So I like the Brewers a lot in game number 2. Good price there, -105. So I think a very advantageous spot for the Brew Crew. Hate saying that as a Cubs fan, but as a bettor, it's looking to be a good one, Colby.
Can't confirm. Danny Burke hates the Cubs. Anywho, moving on.
Every Tuesday, it seems like it.
Yeah, every Tuesday. I was like, no brainer. Danny's on the Brewers again. It's all right because I'm back in the Queens, guys. And we're paying some juice today. We're paying the juice at -130 here. And in another game, I know the Mets struggle on the road in the first 5. We talked about it. Everyone does. But the Nationals allow the 4th most runs in the first 5 at 303. Highest rated offense on the day is the Mets. They have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elite rated hitters in the current season ratings of batters -box. Last 2 weeks, the Mets are 4th in WRC plus, WOBA, and OPS. They're also 3rd in ISO. Taking on Jake Irving, who has the 2nd worst pitcher rating on the day at home, as a 4.70 ERA, allowing nearly 5.5 hits per outing, 2.9 runs per outing, versus lefties, 278 batting average, a 526 slugging, 869, OPS. 7 of the Mets' top 8 hitters are lefties. Jake Irving's last 5 games against lefties, 10.50 ERA, 7.24 expected ERA, 5.11 xFIP. According to Danny Burke, that's the best stat to mention. Wink, wink. Those hitters have a batting average, of a 325 expected batting average, 580 expected slugging, 423 expected WOBA, allowing almost 60% hard contact, 2.17 whip, and a 3.0 home run per 9. I have to pay the juice here. I have to pay the juice. If it's all lefties, I'm gonna have to fade Jake Irving.
Love it. You have done exceptionally well at dishing out at least like one first 5 team total over on this Tuesday show that I have been following, and I'm gonna do it again. You sold me.
They're fun.
Irvin's numbers.
They're fun. I got one more. I got one more.
Oh, I thought you only had the one first 5. That was pretty good.
I got 2
off the bat, my friend.
I got 2.
All right, I'm gonna have to pick at least one of them.
I might be taking this all week long. It didn't hit yesterday. I still like it today. They get to fade another lefty that's struggling, and I I know the price sucks. I always mentioned that paying juice on 3.5 sucks, but it was always going to be 3.5. They're in Denver. So I had to be in love with this play. Just let me talk. It's okay. I thought about parlaying them and then putting a boost on it. And I was like, I would really hate myself if I was on both at the same time and only one of them hits. So I can live with one of these losing. But let's talk about the Rockies because they allow nearly 5 runs in the first 5 innings at home. The Dodgers have the highest rated offense on the day in the default ratings. They have 5 elite rated hitters, 0 above the K rate, 1 above the league ground ball rate. Last 2 weeks, 5th in WRC plus WOBA and OPS, 3rd in hard hit and barrel rate. Austin Gomber is the worst rated pitcher on the day. Poor everything, Danny. Everything. WOBA, ISO, hard contact, K percentage, and ground ball percentage. At home has a 7.11 ERA. Let's go get a Slurpee. Allowing 8 hits and 4.2 runs. Opponents have a 3.54 batting average. Last 5 games, sub-8 ERA, 5.53 expected ERA, 5.16 xFIP. Hitters have a 2.91 expected batting average, 5.43 expected slugging, 3.77 expected WOBA. You don't have to pay the juice. You can parlay them if you want. You can parlay Roman Anthony to get a hit. You'll get plus money. Do whatever. If you don't want to pay juice, it makes sense. I hate paying juice on baseball unless I love the play.
I've got 2 questions.
Shoot them.
All right. First, how often have you found yourself playing the first 5 team total at the number of 3.5 this season? Because I feel like every time I've talked to you, it's always been at 2.5. So curious how often.
It's only when it's in Denver. You're only going to typically get 3.5 if it's in Denver or if it's against a pitcher that's so, like if it's Antonio Sanzantello, oh, that's a Rocky, but anywhere Antonio Sanzantello is playing, typically the team total is going to be 3.5 because he's that god awful. I always say if you like a team to have success offensively and it's at 1.5, it's an auto play because regardless of the price, if it's set at 1.5 and you have to pay, say, minus 160 juice, you're asking for the bare minimum. You're asking for what the Phillies do on the road.
And I'm kind of smiling here because good. I'm kind of smiling here because my second question, forget about it. It was going to be about like their full team total, but then I realized that their team total's at 7.5, which is unbelievable for this game. So yeah, obviously the better route would be to take the first 5 there, despite laying a little bit of juice. So
it's sweaty. I took it all weekend with the Diamondbacks, and I think they went 2 for 3. Was it 3-game series? Whatever it was. I think they hit half the time. So
yeah, because I feel like Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, obviously, like if the 3.5s are really only at Coors, then obviously the team totals will be adjusted into that 5.5, 6.5 range. But if you're at a normal stadium and you kind of got a not so good bullpen, then I'd rather, take like a team total over 4.5, obviously 5.5, as opposed to laying that juice on 3 in the hook. But yeah, no, it makes sense why it is where it is now with 7.5 being their full team total.
The Diamondbacks didn't hit it against Sanzantello on Saturday or Sunday. I think whatever day it was. I think it was Sunday. And I always say, if you're watching the game and there should have been runs because there was about a bunch of contact and whatnot, and they didn't get it done in the first 5, take the first 7 live if the number's just 1 run. If they just have to score 1 run and you're getting 6 extra outs, take that. If it's 1.5, I'm out. I'm not sweating out 2 runs on 6 outs. Take the 6.
Right.
Take 2 score in the 6 because you'll get plus money. And I think I got plus 140 and it cashed. It was awesome. And they went over the 1.5 and I was pissed.
And weren't you just saying last week you don't do that much live betting? See, you got a beautiful strategy.
You got it. You got that's my one good strategy. That and taking Aaron Judge to walk after hitting a home run, Cal Raleigh to walk after a home run. The stud 3 to walk after a home run is typically a good play.
How often do you think that actually comes through the walks? With either
more
player?
Than you think. For other players outside of them?
Well, no. Sorry, for either player, like Judge or Cal Raleigh.
Judge. Or honestly, I don't know. I always forget to take Cal's. But if I'm watching Judge, I'll be like, I got to get that walk.
Well, that's because you don't want to root for Cal to get on base at that point. You want him to
No.
strike out. So
Yeah. But also, he's the easiest person I feel like to pitch around between the two.
yeah,
Could
be.
His batting average would say so.
That's for sure.
Oh, is Sanzatello pitching on Friday? Dude, I love when he pitches on Fridays. It's just fun to wake up. People have asked about Soto. He does have the highest rating today on Batters Side Box. I didn't love the matchup in terms of how he does against, what did I say? His pitches. Oh, Jake Irving's. I didn't love it. Also, when there's 7 guys elite, 5 guys elite, I'm not going to go out of my way to like pick and choose from 7 guys because I'm really just throwing darts if at that point because I'm just trying to pick the right one. And that's like, it's impossible, I feel like sometimes. But sometimes you hit them, sometimes you don't. So it's just much easier to take the team. Because if they all fail, good thing you're not on their player props.
Yeah, that's how I kind of have my sentiment. Like, again, I'm not as big into the props, and it probably is an area I should, but I have that like thought in the back of my head where it's like, man, if the rest of the team just goes off and I'm stuck on one guy, and then you're just like,
the research on the players is the best.
I mean, that's why I'm more like pitcher centric, whether it's pitching outs or strikeouts. That's kind of where I dabble with the props. All right,
I feel like that's too low. Where did you make that parlay? It's not too low. Never mind. It's not too low. It's not too low. Because one of those is plus money. So, yeah, that's actually a good price. I was thinking it was player props, and we're like, yeah, this is all plus money plays. No. That's actually, he must have boosted it, too. Because the Phillies is the only one that's plus money. The other two were like minus 120. The other two there were minus 130. That's actually a really good price. I wouldn't bet it, but that's a good price.
By the way, I know we were talking about, and I saw someone comment on it, the price for the Brewers. There's a minus 110 out there for game number 2. So it's been moving up to like minus 120 in some shops. Well, mostly like minus 115 consensus. But shop around there. There is a minus 110 out there. Still love that price for the Brewers game 2.
Is there any futures you've been eyeing?
I'm just sweating out Judge now, man. That's about it.
That's
the
it?
guy I'm sweating out.
Oh, I have much to sweat.
The 3 that I have to sweat, because I remember when I was telling you about like the 2 that failed, it was Cole Reagans was AL, Cy Young was my pick, and Dylan Cease in the NL, your favorite pitcher. So those 2 obviously ain't happening. The 3 that are, it was the Phillies to win the division. So I had a little bit of plus money there. The Rockies for the worst record, which again, the fact that the White Sox were the favorites in that department based on all the projections, so many other reasons. I think I got like over 2-1 on the Rockies to get. So that was my favorite bet of the entire year. Cannot wait to cash that. And then, but
they're the most fun team in baseball. You might be sweating in your boots.
I don't think so, man. I hope not. Don't give me that look. That would be terrible.
It's all right. I'll read you off mine. I have a massive list. It sucks that the first one says my muse. The Texas Rangers over 85.5 wins. The Mariners under 84.5 wins. Still kind of has life. I just need them to have a massive cold streak. They have to basically win 50% of their 50% of the remaining schedule. The Diamondbacks win total that has been dead since they sold at the break. I told you about the parlay, and here's where it gets funny. Vladimir Guerrero MVP, Vladimir Guerrero to lead the league in home runs. This was before the contract was made, and I was like, hey, this guy's got a chip on his shoulder to get his bag. Why not? Who cares? I lost 0.75 units, whatever. 3/4. I have Francisco Lindor most runs, 25-1. This is my every year bet because I always bet on Vinny Pasquantino. Vinny Pasquantino to have the most doubles. This guy found out how to hit home runs. Jack Caglione, Rookie of the Year, dead. Corbin Carroll, MVP. That was looking fantastic for the first 2 months.
Yeah, I think I was on that last year for him. No bueno.
I was on Bobby Witt last year.
Yeah, you were. That was, dude. So I was actually going to say this. You mentioned Lindor. Out of the MVPs I had last year, my long shot was Francisco Lindor, and he ended up like second, I think. Obviously, he wasn't going to win it, but he
like
came
ended
like
the
second
year
in voting.
scorching. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then here are the funnier ones. Rangers, Diamondbacks, World Series, Nationals, and Athletics to make the playoffs. Michael King, NL Cy Young. Alex Bregman, MVP. Zach Wheeler, Cy Young, dead. Hassan Kim, Rookie of the Year, dead. Tariq Skubal, MVP, dead. And then we got the fun ones. The Rays under 86.5 wins. That should cash. Kyle Schwarber, home run leader. Please, for the love of God. Please, for the love of God. Schwarber, hit 99 tonight. Preferably 2.
Okay, so wait, you said Rays 86.5, right?
Mm-hmm. Under.
Yeah, you're looking pretty darn good there.
They would have to become the best team in baseball to probably touch that. And that's not going to happen. Then the whole handicap was they had to play their whole second half of the season on the road because they had all of their home games early on in the season, which was why they had so much success playing at a minor league ballpark when it was 90 degrees the entire time.
Do you remember, it might have been a month ago at this point, when we were looking at updated win totals and we were looking at, I think it was the Dodgers, and what was it at, like 96.5? Yeah. So, that was, I mean, we both said we liked the under there, and then the Yankees was like over 88.5. That one's still going to be a sweat toward the end. Obviously, they're going to have to keep it going, but the Dodgers under 96, whatever it was, there's some juice to the under, but I think that's where it was. And now, like Fangraphs, for example, has them projected at 93. And again, this Dodgers team, like, will occasionally pick it up into that gear that you're waiting to see happen consistently, and then it's just still back and forth. I still think they pull the division away. I mean, the Padres have a little bit more pressure to keep things close. It's like you take one step forward, but then it's 2 back every time the Dodgers look like they're getting their lick back. So I think the Padres, like you and I said, would be a team that I'd rather be invested in as opposed to the Brewers for the postseason. Do I want to be invested in them for the division? No, thank you.
What do they have for the Mariners?
Let's see. Projected wins 88.2, Astros 88.5.
So I would really just need a bad week from the Mariners to probably feel good about that under. Because 84
Where
and
did you have them at again? Sorry.
84.5. I would need 84.
That one's going to be tough.
They have to win half their games, I believe.
Oh, man.
Half the remaining schedule. I think there's 48 games left.
Well,
they
have a pretty tough schedule, right? We were looking over that last week. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you still got to. Well, maybe it's not.
How many on the road?
Yeah, it's actually not too bad. I mean, this Philly series sucks, but then you get the A's at home, the Padres at home, at Cleveland, and then at Tampa Bay and at Atlanta. I mean, if Atlanta was anything of what they'd been in the past, then we'd be having a different conversation.
Yeah, because. I mean, the Mets look pretty good against the Mariners, but where was that?
Dude,
that was
do you buy into the Mets at all long term, like this season to win the World Series?
Oh my God, they're such a tough team to figure out. I don't like any team. I don't like any team in baseball.
I just like my Phillies, man.
You could give me $100 to bet on any team to win the World Series, and I would just hand you the money back because I wouldn't know where to put it. I don't know where it's going. And I think it's coming out of the NL. I don't think anyone in the AL is worth even sniffing a prop on to even make it out or to win the World Series. But the AL is definitely going to murder whoever comes on the AL.
Yeah,
so I guess you can start throwing some darts, and I guess I'll take my $100 back.
I am like officially on the hate Mets train from one single game. That was Friday when I bet them, and their bullpen just absolutely imploded. Certainly not a sound strategy for when it comes to betting, but you and I like to have vendettas against certain teams, and the Mets may be my next team after that performance. But no, man, I'm still saying the Phillies are my team out of the National League. This is like it's been building up to this. It's been building up to it. Then the team kind of departs after this season, but I can say.
Yeah. But people, don't go anywhere. In 50-something seconds, the W is about to go live. Here are Danny and I's plays to run through one last time. I'm on the Mets first 5 team total over 2.5 minus 130. Roman Anthony bases boosted, home run boosted. Good God, would I be screaming at the moon if that cashed? Dodgers team total the first 5 over. Danny's on the Phillies run line. Andy's on his rivals team? Whoa. Danny, you dirty dog. All right, Danny. It's been an amazing Tuesday with you as always. Don't go anywhere, people. The W is about to go live in 8 seconds. I'm Colby Marcio. Give me a follow, Colby M. Betts. Danny Burke 5. Give him a follow. Danny Burke, thank you again.
Always a blast, Colby. Take care, guys.
See you guys.
You see I'm getting close, I accelerate, going faster than fast, hit the gas, lose control, I won't crash, rolling high, put your money on the dash, throw the dice, lose control, I won't crash, rolling low, I won't crash, bring you slow, I won't crash, rolling, take, you running on the road, so get out the way, push the pedal to the floor, going all the way, yeah, you see I'm getting close, I accelerate, going faster than fast, hit the gas.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the W. Excited to have you guys with us right here on the Betting News Network. Hope you guys enjoyed the last hour with Mr. Colby Marcio and Danny Burke going through the diamond. Now you're stuck with us for the next hour. That is Miss Kate Constable. My name is Sweatpants Jesus. Stoked to have you guys here. Kate, how we doing? Happy Tuesday. Goats are muted. I can't unmute you. There we go. You're still muted. You're still muted. I don't hear you. Chat, do you guys hear her? Because I'm not hearing her.
How about now?
There we go.
There
we
we
got
go.
audio. We got audio.
I started
How
by
we doing?
saying I'm doing great, and then I started by saying what a great start to the show. We're having my mic muted, and now here we are. So I'm doing good, SPJ. How you doing?
I'm good. It's funny you decide, because obviously you're still new. Excited to have you with us on the squad. Get more comfortable as the weeks have gone on.
Yep.
But it's funny, Chad. Obviously, you guys know my legit name of Daniel Collins. But it's funny you figuring out trying to call me SPJ. You're going to call me Daniel. What are we going to do? And I think we've landed on SPJ, right?
We're going with SPJ. I mean, that's what the guys call you, right? Like, I can't be the only one
For the most part.
that is like calls everyone by their like professional,
name.
normal name. That's boring.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to be one of the guys and, call everyone by their nicknames. Do they call you SPJ more or Sweatpants Jesus?
They call me SPJ. It's very
SPJ,
rare
and that's what we're
for
going
them to
with.
call me. Man, we love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Well, and I just started dropping the name on the timeline real recently, just, we're throwing that out there because it's on bettingnews.com. You can see it on there anyway. So it's like, it doesn't matter. But it's so weird because these guys knowed me for so long as SPJ. And so, like, in my family, like, even my mom will sometimes say Sweatpants Jesus, which is really funny when my mom calls me that. But
how did Sweatpants Jesus originate? Like, I mean, I get the hair and the beard,
Sure.
like Jesus there, right? I see some resemblance, but the sweatpants portion.
So when I created my Twitter, this was almost 5 years ago. I at that point, it was the middle of COVID, was wearing sweatpants a lot. I was more of a very casual guy. We were living down in Florida, kind of beachy vibes. Swimsuit Jesus didn't make sense. So I went with sweatpants Jesus, and it kind of just started landing, and then people loved it. And so it took off. And yeah, that's where it's funny though, Kate, because you don't know this. I used to be Sweatpants Jesus with an S. And then my Twitter got, don't tell anybody, but my Twitter got banned. I got removed. Yeah, I got put in Twitter jail, and I still have no idea why. And I had a decent amount of following at that point. I just started with Betting News, and I was like moving down the train, and like my account got removed, and I couldn't get it back. And I don't know if you know about Twitter jail, but if you go into Twitter jail,
it's not good.
It's impossible to get yourself out of there. And so I had to restart my account. So that is the birth of Sweatpants Jesus with the singular pant. So we'll have to think of a fun name for you.
I know.
Although Kate kind of rolls off the tongue, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but maybe we could come up with one a little bit more creative for me. I'll brainstorm.
Yeah, exactly. I've been gone. Hey, man, let's go. We got a new person. Absolutely. Vibes are high, Don. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all you guys for stopping by and kicking in with us. If you're watching this on Twitch, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on X, thanks for hanging out. We're going to talk all about the WNBA today. Give you guys the moves. Big slate, Kate. We're getting down to the nitty gritty of the season. Last week we talked about the playoff picture. We're going to pull that up for you guys in just a second, as we've got about 10 games left for most of these teams. And it's just gotten more and more interesting by the day almost. I mean,
Yeah.
there are storylines all over the place. So let's just go ahead and jump straight into it and get what we're going to talk about today. We are going to jump into all the 5 games that we have on the slate. Some nice matchups today. All of us, or Kate and myself, have bets for you guys across the entire slate. We'll have some fun at the end of the show, put together a little parlay. Kate and I are on the same play today as well in one particular game. So
It's always a scary thing.
That's not hitting. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But let's just talk about the standings. Here we go on the side of the screen. There you go, chat. 10 games left for most. That's either 10 or 11 for most teams, kind of mixing match depending on who's got some games to make up. The link's still at the top. 9 winners of lineup. They're now 9 of their last 10, even without Collier in the lineup. The Dream of Leapfrog to Liberty. We're going to talk about both of them tonight. Mercury's still sitting at 4th. I want to talk. You guys can see on the side of the screen. I won't read off the rest of them, but this Aces team is incredible. How high they have now. The winners of 9 of their last 10. Asia's been amazing. As someone who has a 45-1 ticket for her to win the MVP, I hope she continues down this road. Although I still think Collier should probably win it. But overall takeaways right now with what teams we're looking at, storylines, what are we thinking?
I mean, I can't remember if it was on this show or a different show I was on that I was talking about the Aces last week. They were 27-1 to win the title. And I said on whatever show it was, it wasn't that like that would be a good bet. I think that, and I never went and bet it. I don't know why. I must have gotten up off my computer, went and made some dinner or something, and just totally forgot about it. And they're now down to, I mean, I've seen 14-1s out there. I've seen some plus 950s, but they've now won 7 games in a row, and it feels like they've turned things around. Like all of a sudden they figured out what works. Asia Wilson has been absolutely on fire. Incredible. And now this is looking like a scary team going into the playoffs.
You said it here, and you'll learn this. And now that you're doing these shows with us more consistently, we'll talk about a lot of stuff, and we usually end up finding some little sneaky gems. You don't want to be the point where you don't bet something, and the chat bets it, and then it hits, and then you don't get to cash with them.
Yeah.
So you'll learn to like just put little sprinkles on stuff as we're going through things. So otherwise, you get really mad at yourself for not pressing the buttons. But you're right. I mean, the value's not gone, but it's gone even higher.
Cut in
like
half
I said,
basically from last week. Yeah.
Yeah, which is nuts, but that's how hot they've been. That's how good they've been. And again, like you said, Asia has been incredible for this team. They finally unlocked the key of what it looks like Jewel Lloyd coming off the bench we talked about. But to kind of flip it on the other side of things, the team directly beneath them now, the Fever, kind of sliding a little bit. Caitlin Clark, you had a really good hot take, which I think at this point is not even a hot take anymore. This just might be the truth. Caitlin Clark may not come back this season. They're kind of saying she might. I think you might be right that she may not. And now news came out today that unfortunately Sophie Cunningham on the shelf with that she tore part of her MCL in that knee, which kind of didn't look very good on the injury when it happened. But I'm worried about this team. I know you are too. No Clark, the depth sucks. What do you kind of think about the Fever right now?
Think this team, not someone you want to be putting your money on. I don't think Caitlin should come back. Like I didn't even with Sophie in, and now with Sophie out, she's one of your main scorers, top 4 scorers on this team, I think. And you already have Sydney Colson, who's out for the season. You have Ari McDonald, who's out for the season now. So all of a sudden, depth in the WNBA is a little bit more important than depth in the NBA. Like NBA, you can go 6-7 guys deep in the playoffs, and that's fine. That's a lot of rotations. I think you need a little bit more in the WNBA, and this team just doesn't have it. So it would be an awful situation if they brought Caitlin Clark back, tried to make a playoff push, and something happens again, and all of a sudden it's another 2-3 months out. Obviously, that would extend into the off season, but where she's spending her off season rehabbing rather than her off season working on her game and different aspects of that and growing. So I think the Fever, you know what? Great job this year, but it might just be it. Like that just might be it.
Well, they had the whole Devonna Bonner thing fall apart, which kind of was like, they brought in all these pieces after Caitlin Clark's amazing rookie year, and they were like, we're going to go and compete to try to win a championship. The Cunningham, Lexi Hall thing has worked out really well. Yeah. Both of those ladies have been good on this team. Obviously, Boston played really well, too. Natasha Howard's been really good as well. But the Bonner situation fell apart. Clark's missed so much time. And I don't see this team winning a championship, and you don't want to bring her back early. I mean, we talked about it with the Angel Reese situation for the Sky. And it's sounding like that she might play tonight. I don't think that she will. I don't think it's a good idea to throw her out there.
She's gonna go through warm-ups.
Okay.
I have a play on that game, and I'm really hoping she doesn't play for that play, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll get there. Yeah, I don't see why they throw her out there. That makes zero sense based upon what we're looking at right now. But before we jump to these games, because obviously we got a lot to talk about with the games in front of us tonight. As you can see, you got the Valks sitting at 7th. Great season from them. It's looking like closer and closer that they're going to sneak into the playoffs, depending on what happens in this last 10 games. But then you got the Storm, the Sparks, and the Mystics, all within kind of that 7, 8, 9, 10 spot. And as you guys know, chat, the 1 through 8 makes the playoffs. So 2 of these teams are going to get left out. Just off the top of the dome right now, without even too much of us kind of gabbing about this beforehand. Which 2 teams of those 4 do you think is going to be in the playoffs by the time we get to, when is it, September 14th or whenever they start?
I think the Storm will be in.
Mm-hmm. God, they've been so bad lately.
They've been so bad. I just feel like there's the talent is there that
right.
It would be shocking if they missed the playoffs, but they have been so bad and so inconsistent. I think the Valkyries deserve to be in. They play great at home too. They're at home tonight, so maybe they can add another win there. It's interesting. The Valkyries are 2 games up on the Sparks, as we see here, but they're only 2.5 games back from the Mercury at 4. So there could be a ton fluctuating in that 10-4 range over the next 10 games. So I would like to say the Valkyries and Storm. I know that's probably very easy because right now they're in the playoffs. Mystics, I always thought were going to make it. They've kind of dropped off a little bit lately, and I don't understand the line in tonight's game at all, dropping the way it did. So I'm going to go Valkyries and Storm, even though they're sitting there right now. I think they're going to hang on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'd love to see the Sparks make a run and get in there just because I love betting this team and they're fun to watch, especially offensively. But I think the Storm and the Valks got it locked up. The Mystics have fallen apart a little bit. Sonia Citron's been spectacular since Sykes left. But it could be interesting. I mean, 10 games left to kind of say, there's not going to a lot happen. But look what happened 10 games ago.
Right.
The Aces have won 9 of their last 10 and are now 5th, where they were, 10th. So a lot can change in this last little push going into the playoffs. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot of these teams are playing tonight, head-to-head battles this evening that we're going to get into right now. And let's just jump straight to it. Let's talk about this first matchup, which is, God, I feel like we've talked about this matchup about 7 times at this point because these ladies have played each other so much recently. I'll tee this one up and you can do the next one. That we got in New York tonight, the Liberty hosting the Lynx once again. It's looking like Collier was kind of a game-time decision, but now it's seeming like that she's going to be doubtful in this game. 3.5 points was the spread. It has now moved to 2.5. So the graphic is a little bit off just because it has moved in the last hour. 140 on the money line towards the Liberty, 130 or 125 towards the Lynx on the money line, and then the over/under sitting at 166.5. Kind of overall takeaways before we jump into some games for this game, props for this game.
I don't know who did the scheduling on this. Why is this team playing three games in a row?
I don't understand.
That's stupid.
Well, we've talked about, you haven't been with us the entire W season, but I know you as a follower of this. The scheduling committee is terrible. Like they need to upgrade that department ASAP with all this new money coming in. Like this, it's just atrocious. So I think that would be something that they definitely look at in the offseason.
Yeah. Especially going New York to Minnesota, back to New York. At least play. I don't know. It's stupid to me.
It's weird.
But the Lynx have had the Liberty's number this year. I think it's going to be tough to beat them a 4th time this season and a 3rd time in 3 games. But I don't think Napisa Collier is going to play based on the line movement that we've seen it getting out to 3.5. I think she sits this one. I'm on Kayla McBride over 15.5 points. Yes, 15.5 points is what I got her at. I mean, she's been great lately. She's kind of, I don't want to say holding this team up because they have so many pieces that just collectively they've been able to do that without Collier. But McBride's gone over this in all 3 games against New York. She's averaging almost 17 points per game over her last 5. And in 2 of those 3, she shot over 55% from deep. She's taken almost 7-8 threes a game. And so if she just continues to be hot there, can knock down a couple of those, all of a sudden that gets you halfway over this point prop. And I think she can do the rest just, normal buckets, however she gets them, getting to the line. She's just been a player that against New York this year, until she gives me a reason not to, I'm going to continue to bet her. So Kayla McBride over 15.5.
I love it. She definitely was tough to bet earlier in the season. Finally hit her stride after the All-Star break. One of the best, if not the best, statistical free throw shooter in the entire dub. Yep. She's a bucket from the free throw line, automatic. So I like this prop a lot. I'm staying on that side too. I like Courtney Williams. Kind of set it and forget it for me as well. Kind of like you mentioned, they've just played now 2 games in a row. They played earlier again on the 30th of July. She's hit this PRA line in all 3 games against this Liberty team this season. She is kind of the primary scorer when Collier's out, which we've seen quite a bit of over the last couple of weeks. Again, maybe she's due for a little bit of regression in this situation. She did just have a 26-point game. I don't think so. This Liberty team's kind of fucking around, and, we've seen how this team is. I don't like this line. I want to take the Lynx real bad because I think they could just win this game outright. So I think the line is kind of funky, which makes me think somebody from the Liberty turns up and maybe they cover in that regard. But I lean heavily with the Lynx side of things here.
The Lynx have won every game, despite being underdogs in a couple of them, by 6 or more points. So, they've really taken care of business. And I like this Courtney Williams play. I was looking at her as well earlier today, and she's just been consistent over the last 4 games. And I know it's a 4-game sample size, but you look at some of those numbers, and not only scoring, but her assist numbers have been fairly consistent. Her rebound numbers have been consistent. So, you know what you're getting there. She's been shooting really well from the field as well. So she's kind of feeling herself. Stud buds continuing to pop off. I watched some stream or a clip of a stream the other day. They're just kind of fun to back. So even if you're not putting a whole lot on someone like Courtney Williams, she's just a fun player to root for. So I'm totally on board with that.
It's been really cool to watch her kind of grow even further this season. Obviously, as you mentioned with the stud buds thing, you're getting an inside scoop on how just much of a personality that she is, but watching her game develop too. I mean, she was an all-star this year. She's been very good for this team for many seasons, but this season I really feel like her game has upped another level. And that's, I know Collier is, she should win the MVP. She's been amazing, but I would argue that she's been just as important to their success this season and the reason why they're the number 1 seed and probably will be going into the playoffs because of Courtney. Yeah, I'm with you. I like the McBride play. I lean pretty heavily on the Lynx side of things. Now the Liberty probably going to come out and win by 20, but Sabrina has a tough matchup here. Not a great matchup for a lot of the other Liberty players. Still no Stewie in the lineup for this team too. Misseman's been really good since coming over, but this Lynx team's no joke. And I think with the matchups recently, I don't know, just not overthinking it here.
I also think that this Lynx team wants to prove that they can beat the Liberty in the playoffs, after losing last season. So I like our plays in this game. Let's move on to another one, shall we? Let's go Sun Mystics next.
Let's do it. Let's go Sun Mystics. Take it away.
This one is very interesting to me. I don't think that the Mystics should only be laying 6.5, and this opened 8.5, which is weird. That would be a little bit more of where I would have this line. And the fact that it's come down when JC Sheldon, sure, she's out. Stephanie Dolson, it's not their main scorers that are out. And that would typically be what moved a line is if there are some injuries or some, I don't know, crazy thing. You don't have to deal with weather or schedule spots or travel, all that stuff. They both played 2 games ago. I just don't understand the line movement here. So I'm off this one altogether. And I've been trying to fade the Sun in different ways over the last couple of days, and it's just kind of backfired on me. So I can't figure out this Sun team right now. When I think they're gonna stick within a number, stay close, they get blown out, and when I think they're gonna get blown out, they stick with teams. So I'm just totally off this game altogether.
We talked about this Sun team. They show up sometimes and win by 20 randomly, and then show up sometimes and lose by 50. They're very difficult to cap. They have some nice young pieces, and this Mystics team really needs to win. We just talked about them. They need to win as many games as possible going down the stretch of the season. Sonia Citron's been spectacular. And just to answer, Chef, you're not shadow banned. I see you. We will cook a lotto at the end of the show just for you. Kate will have a nice, juicy plus money play. We've gotten really close the last 2 dubs when it's been you and me on cooking lottos. Really close. So today we will we'll do it just for you, Chef, and Austin in the chat. But I actually have a play in this game. I know you said it's the line makes 0 sense. I don't understand this line. If you like the Mystics, you can just it's 5.5 now as well. You said it was 8.5. You got 6.5. Saw 6.5. It's now 5.5. I don't know what is going on with this line. But I'm actually going to take somebody who has been really good to me all season long. I'm going back to, somebody who is a little bit inconsistent to bet sometimes, but she's always sorted me out. So I'm going to go straight back to her. I'm taking Tina Charles over 21.5 PR. Now, Kate, she's hit this in 3 straight games against the Mystics. She hit this in both matchups with the Mystics this season. 17 and 23 points in both games against them this year. 9 and 10 rebounds in both of those games as well. Double-double. plus 800 if you're feeling really frisky. Now, again, with Anissa Morrow playing a lot more minutes for this team now, Charles doesn't have as much of an onus to rebound. Morrow is grabbing a lot of those boards down low for this team, and you're dealing with Austin and Kiki Iriafin down low for the Mystics, so there's that to go with this. But I like this line. She does kind of come in at this point. There's nothing to play for in her career right now. They're not trying to make the playoffs. She's just playing to hoop. And I don't know, sometimes you take the pressure out and you just go out there and you make some buckets and have some fun. So give me Tina Charles. Probably going to end up regretting this play when this game is like a 30-point game for some random reason. But I like Tina. She's done good for me. And I think that if you think this line is appropriately set, if the Sun do have a chance to stick around, Tina Charles is probably going to have a lot to say in regards to that for the Sun.
Well, you bet Tina Charles on Sunday as well, didn't you? And her matchup against Aaliyah Boston, 21 points in that game. I mean, basically over this line right there. When she plays against certain teams that she's had previous success against, like she's kind of one of those players you can count on, which is weird. Like that's not a good handicap necessarily to be like, against this team, she's gone over this line in 4 of her last set. Like, yes, we look at that all the time, but like she's one of those players that like, she dominates Aaliyah Boston. She's dominated in this matchup too. So she's one that you can trust a little bit more, I think. So I like that one.
Of all the players on this team, she's the one. I was looking at Morrow's rebounds, but her playing time gets funky sometimes. Yeah, it's just weird. But all right, should we move on to the next game? Not really a whole lot left to say on this one. This could be one of those games that the 5.5 could just be about as free as air, and then you could look up and the Sun could win this game outright. So it's just funky, just weird. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about this next one here. Let's go to this game, which has a lot of interesting angles on this one. This line has moved a touch here. The Seattle Storm, 11.5-point favorites coming into Chicago to take on your Chicago Sky, plus 11.5. Are they on dogs at home? 600 on the money line, plus 475. As we were saying to start off, Angel Reese, game time decision, going to go through shoot around. This line has dropped to 10.5 now, so maybe they're thinking that she does give it a whirl. But, I mean, this is the Storm, right?
Yeah, this is the Storm, and this is more so than this is the Storm. This is the Sky. This is the Sky's offense that we're going to be fading today. That is the more important piece. I like the under 73.5, and it's weird because it's kind of ticked up a point or two from this morning. It was 72.5 around like 9 o'clock this morning. We're up to 73. So that does, and the fact that this line's moving in favor of Chicago makes me think that Angel is probably going to play. But Angel hasn't played in how many weeks? Like I think she's played in 3 games since the All-Star break. So yeah, she's been conditioning and all that, but like game type conditioning. So are her minutes going to be a little less? Will she be on a minutes restriction? Without her on the floor, like this team doesn't know how to play offense very well, if at all. Ariel Atkins is also questionable for this game. I almost want Haley Van Lith to play. She's always on the injury report and always questionable, it seems. But the offense slows down when she has the ball in her hands or when she's out there. And so that would slow down this offense even more. I just don't trust this team to score against a defense like Seattle. Like Seattle's defense is very good. Their defense travels. They're good on the road. And if you look at Chicago's recent games, scored 59 points against the Valkyries, who also have a good defense. 62 against Connecticut. Like what? 65 against Atlanta. That one's a little bit more understandable because Atlanta's pretty good, but like I just don't trust this Sky offense whatsoever. So we're going Sky team total under 73.5.
Yep, just fade them. Just hope that, I mean, it seems like Angel, as Chef was just saying in the chat, lines are up for her. So maybe she is looking like she's going to try to give it a whirl. But as you mentioned, even if she plays, she might not play full minutes. Maybe that back does flare up. Maybe she's rusty. Because as awesome as she was playing going into the All-Star break and having that kind of great part of the season, right? She's still not polished as an offensive player. So to return from being out for so long, plus the fact that like it's not a natural thing for you to be that polished offensively, like it's going to take her some time. So that may not matter tonight. And the Storm are very good defensively. They've been really bad the last 10 games. This team has fallen off a cliff, but as a whole, they are a good defensive team. And I'm actually taking a play in this game. I really think that the Storm should win this game. This might be a get right spot for this team. They desperately need a big win, like a nice, like, let's go
Mhm.
home, get 25-point dub, and like feel good about ourselves again with how they've been playing. But I'm going with the rookie. And this line is no longer in existence, unfortunately, chat. So it's up to 6.5. But I got a good line on this last night. I do endorse the 6.5 if you want to take it there as well. But I got Dominic Malonga, the rookie, over 6+ rebounds, -135. A little juice here. The PR wasn't available when I was looking to bet this last night. It is available now. It's a little high in my opinion, but Kate, she had a double-double against this team when they played earlier this season. She had 10 boards. She's getting more and more minutes depending upon the matchup. And this is one of those situations where I think this game could turn into a tiny bit of a blowout. It could turn into a situation where the Storm are up a little bigger. Maybe they don't want Nneka out there as much. Maybe they don't want Izzy out there as much. And they're letting Malonga play a little more minutes. She's probably going to play about 20 regardless. But if she gets into the 25 to 30 range, again, her double-double plus 340. She had a double-double against them last time. I love the rebounds, love the points. I think Malonga is going to have a nice opportunity, regardless of if Reese plays, against Cardoso down low. Really talented hooper, chat. If you guys haven't watched this girl play, still a rookie, very young. I think she's like 19. She's got a lot of growth that she's going to do in the WNBA. So I'm excited to kind of see her play again tonight. And I like the rebounding line. So
I mean, that would be perfect for both of us. A blowout would allow her to have a couple more minutes, and a blowout would mean that the Sky aren't scoring a whole lot. So
absolutely.
Maybe correlated play a little bit there.
Lots. It's like we both know what we're talking about without even knowing we were talking about it. Watch this. Sky went out right now. That's how that's going to go. No, I you're right. Lots of bricks. This team offensively is really bad. They're not really good defensively either. And again, the Storm are so due for a shellacking of somebody.
And we just talked about in the standings, like the Storm are right on the bubble there. This is a game that if like they have to have. You cannot lose to the Sky if you want to make the playoffs. Like that's just not, you're not in a spot to earn a playoff spot if you're losing to the Chicago Sky at this point in the season. They've won 8 games all year. It's not good.
And yes, this is a game again, as you said, that's why the 11.5 is just kind of, I don't want to take that because they could win by 10 and it's fine. But like, I don't want to mess around. But they should win this game. They should definitely win this game and get it over the line. I like your team total under. I have obviously taken in some Malonga stock. Let's move on. Where you want to go next?
Yeah, let's go Dream and Aces. I want to know where you are going on this one. This is another one that I stared at all day today and kind of tried to find an angle, but that never works out when I try and force anything. So we're just going to stay off of it. I love the way the Aces are playing right now. We always knew all season long that the talent was there. It was just them figuring it out and putting it together, and now they have. And yes, one of their recent wins was against the Dallas Wings. One was against the Connecticut Sun, but at least they're taking care of business in those games and winning fairly convincingly. So this line right now, Vegas -2.5, total sitting 166.5. Asia Wilson's been balling out. You have a prop in this game, SPJ. Let's hear it.
Well, you teed me up perfectly, and Kate, it's about as chalky as you like. But I'm just going to keep riding it. I'm going to keep taking it. She has sorted me out the last 4 or 5 games. She's playing GOAT mode right now. Again, I've got an MVP ticket sitting in my back pocket with some nice value staring at me. The Aces are going to win this game. If they're going to cover the 2.5, Asia's going to ball out. And she's had great games against the Dream in this season and dating back to last year. The last time they played earlier this year, 24-12-5. I usually have been taking her PR, but they have bumped it to the point where like I wanted to add in the assists because she has good facilitating numbers against the Dream. Games last season, 26-16-5, 33-18-1. Like she has dominated this team, even though the Dream are a different squad last season. But with how she's been playing the last 5 games too, she's just coming off a 34-8 game. I just am not going to overthink this right now. This is just one of those situations in basketball, in the NBA, WNBA, it doesn't matter. When a player is on a heater, you keep riding the hot hand and you keep rolling with it. And I honestly think that they might win this game. I know that the Dream have been incredible. This is like the immovable object versus the unstoppable force game because we got 2 teams that are just on fire, both of them. So I kind of lean with the home team just purely off the home factor. And I think Asia's going to keep balling out. So yeah, give me Asia PRA. If you want to take the points, go for it. If you want to take the PR, go for it. I don't dislike any line. I just wanted to rope it all in and just hope that she continues hooping.
That's where I was going to go with this. If I took anything, was Asia's points and the Aces. Like my hesitation was, can the Aces continue to keep this up against a team like the Dream? who has been with the Aces, one of the hottest teams lately, but I kind of think they can. Like, I think this is just a team that's really figured it out, turned it around completely, and is going to continue to have success. So I don't hate backing the Aces. And maybe that's something we do money line on our parlay. That could be a look. Then you're not having to cover the 2.5. So
yeah, playable. I mean, minus 135 on the money lines, a nice, not too much juice.
Yeah, not terrible.
That's fine. Just to kind of mention this, I didn't bet this, but I did lab this last night when I was looking at this game, and it's worth mentioning because Chat just kind of talked about it too. Alicia Gray also has great success against the Aces as well. She's had really good games against this team. Her PRA is sitting at 25.5. Back-to-back games kind of stinkers for her in comparison to how good she's been this season. Great bounce back spot, good game, higher total. This is going to have a playoff atmosphere, I think, this type of game, with how both of these teams are playing. So Alicia Gray is another one that I really like in this spot here. 25.5 is the PRA. If you want to just take just the points, 16.5, that feels good too. 24 and 17 in both games against the Aces and back-to-back, and then 24 earlier this year when they played as well. So I like Gray, kind of chalk, both the stars, just to be stars.
Do you have her 3-point line in front of you by chance?
I can look at it. Yeah, it is 2.5 for plus money, plus 145. That's a very nice plus money sprinkle.
I kind of like that. I mean, she took 10 threes in the last game, shot 2 of 10. So not good. And she was 0 for 2 the game before that. So she's really been struggling, but hitting 3 threes is not something that is, that's something that she does more often than not, right? She won the 3-point contest 2 years ago. I mean, that's something that I would look at when a player has struggled for a couple games and then they're going up against a good opponent where they're going to be totally focused, mentally locked in, all that stuff. I think she could get her 3-point shot back pretty quick.
All right. So this is the first time that I'm ever doing this with you. I've done it to everybody else that we work with. Let me see your arm. Yeah, I'm going to twist it. Okay. Her 4+ threes is plus 360. She hit 5 3-pointers against this team when they played earlier this season. I love the logic you're talking about. The 3+ is plus 145. But the 4+ plus 360? Come on now.
360, I think that,
I love the logic. I love it. I like her points, but the threes makes a bunch of sense, especially after the volume of a bad shooting night. I did this with her earlier this season, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I took her in a bounce back situation, and she had almost a career night. So you're onto something here.
I think because she's shot so poorly in the last couple of games, they're going to try and get her going early. Which maybe she knocks one down early, and all of a sudden you look up and we're a minute into the game and she already has 1 3. Like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. She could have 2 in the first quarter. Then you're really sweating it out. Also, the fact that Ryan Howard's back with this team. Jordan Canada's still on the shelf, so she's not playing tonight. But Ryan Howard's back. So I think the way that they mesh in the backcourt as players, Howard has a little bit more of a chance to facilitate some in comparison, right? So then she can get Alicia Gray those shots that she likes to hit, like you said. So I dig it. I think that this is a great line, a great bounce back spot for her. PRA, threes, points, whatever you want to take it. And then, I'm apparently a professional arm twister. Yeah, I've done it with everybody. Everybody. Wow. I
feel special now. This is great. I'm like a part of the crew. Got my arm twisted.
Yeah. Welcome.
You don't have to twist very hard for me to jump on something like 4+ threes.
4+, yeah, for plus 360. Yeah, I mean, just because you mentioned it, because I like to say this stuff when we're live, because I know you guys can, all the things that pass by that don't hit, we don't clip those moments, but the ones that do, we clip those and we can post them on the timeline. 5+ plus 900. Just saying.
No,
she hit 5.
We're not going to push our luck. 4 and we're good.
I'm just saying for the chat, she did hit 5 the last time they played. So, all right. Well, there you go. That's the Aces in Las Vegas tonight. That should be a good one late night tonight as well. All right, let's move on. I'll let you tee up this game too, the last game of the night. I guess I know you got some thoughts on this one as well. What are you liking in this Mercury?
Yes, we have Mercury at the Valkyries. Open 5.5. We're up to 6.5 right now. So moving in favor of Phoenix, but this Valkyries team just is really good at home. That's kind of one of my main handicaps of them is I like to back them at home. And since Kayla Thornton went out, they're second in defense. So they've realized that they're not going to win games by necessarily blowing you out of the water offensively and putting up a boatload. They're going to have to win by playing hard-nosed defense, only allowing 74 points per game over that stretch. And I just think that as good as Phoenix is, the talent that they have, like this Valkyries team is a bunch of misfits because that's how expansion teams are, but they play really well together. And when you're playing that well defensively, when you're at home, they have one of the better home courts in the league. I mean, that fan base is awesome for how little they've been around their first season. That 6.5 points, I'm going to take the points with the Valkyries. Like, I don't think that Phoenix are walking into this building and blowing them out completely. So there was a 7 earlier. I was able to get that, but 6.5, I think that's just fine as well.
Yeah, this is the other line that didn't really make a bunch of sense to me. Just purely because the Valks are at home. They've been so good, as you mentioned, at home. I mean, I like the Mercury. I do have them to win the entire thing in my slips as well, as got that value nicely before Bonner joined this team. But so I like this team. I think they're going to have a lot to say in the playoffs. But the Valkyries have been great too. We were kind of concerned a little bit when Thornton went on the shelf, what they were going to do. But it's okay, Kate, because they got my Italian stallion, CC Zandalicini, coming in and hooping.
I'm glad you said that name because I cannot say that name.
Oh, she's so nice with it, man. It's funny because she let me down last game. She didn't hit her points, but she had a terrible shooting night. I kind of wanted to go back to her here once again in this spot, but I ended up kind of letting her just do her thing. So she'll have probably a career night once again. But if you haven't watched her, she's really, really good. And she has been part of the reason why they've kind of had this little ascension back up into the playoff picture the last 5 or 6 games. But chat, like I mentioned, Kate and I are both on the same play. Hers is a tiny bit of a different angle in comparison to the way that I'm taking it. But we're both on AT, the other MVP candidate who has been playing just as well as Wilson, who has been taking advantage of the Collier being on the self situation. You went with just the points. So talk about why you like AT here.
I mean, recently, you look at what she's done. She's scoring in the high teens, and this is a line I feel like from early on in the season. Like, I feel like this is the line you would have gotten back in June, early July, where she was a little bit more inconsistent. She'd score, 11, 12, then you'd get an 18, 19. You look what she's done lately, and it's in the 20s in a lot of these games. 18 points, 21, 15, 19. She had a slew of 20 points in late July. 14, it's just too low. 14 and a half. It's just, I think that line is off. And that does kind of contradict my whole, okay, well, the Valkyries defense has been very good, but Alyssa Thomas finds her way around that type of stuff all the time.
She's matchup proof. We talked about it in the NBA. You got guys that are flirting with triple doubles almost every game that are just doesn't matter. Like, yeah, great matchup. Okay, cool. Bad matchup. Who cares? Jokic is still going to Jokic. Like, AT is going to do what she's going to do. I went with the PA, 23.5 points. Pretty much the same logic. This line's too low. She had 17 and 11 the last time they played earlier this season. She's hit this line in 5 straight games. So I wanted to rope the assist in just because that's what she does do best, I guess. But like you mentioned, she is scoring the basketball. She didn't really have a lot of boards the last time they played, but this team is a good rebounding team. And when they were played, I think Thornton was still in the lineup, and that kind of added into that too. Only 6 rebounds in that game. But I did sprinkle the triple-double at this point. Ooh. She's had a triple-double in – let me just pull it up here. She just came off
6.
Yep, 4 of her last 6. She just had one against the Storm in that last game, barn burner of a game, 19, 10, and 11. Again, this is just cup of coffee type stuff, but like she just had 4 of her last 6 plus 370 is awesome value. Does she get over the line? Maybe the rebounds let us down here, but I think it's worth a sprinkle. If this game stays relatively close, like you said, I like the Valks to cover here as well. I think that's a good bet. AT is going to have a lot to say. Yep. So I think, Chad, again, famous last words. We're both on the same player and the same play. See what happens and how that plays out in this particular situation. But I do actually really like what Skit's talking about here in the chat. I'll just bring that up too, because that was the other prop I was looking at on the Valkyrie side of things. Veronica Burton has been spectacular for this team all season long. Yeah. She's been one of the driving forces as well as to why they've gotten to where they've gotten so far. Her points feels too low too. 10.5, 3 straight hits in that, 16, 11, and 30. She had that crazy game against the Mystics a few games ago, but she had 17 and 16 in back-to-back games against Phoenix this year. So I don't know why her line's 10.5. The PRA is always a good bet with her too, because she is going to facilitate good rebounding guard. So I like Burton stock in this one too. I think she has a chance. If the Valks are going to cover, if you're on that side of the fence with Kate, she's going to have to. She's going to have to score. So I like Burton here too. I like that prop.
I did look at Burton. I just looked at her too late in the game that I didn't have a full handicap to come to the show with to really give the people the in-depth stuff. So, but that is someone that I think could have another massive game. She's scored double digits 3 of her last 4, had a slew of double-digit performances all through July, basically. So, yeah, she's been great.
Fun to bet on. Great
Yeah.
to watch, too, since the beginning of the season. Chef, I don't know about the TD necessarily. You could take the points to 15+. That's a nice sprinkle. She has hit that in back-to-back games, and that's in the plus 200 range if you're feeling frisky there. Just to mention it before we close out this game, and then we get to cooking our parlay for the day. I didn't bet CC Sandelicini, chat, but I will be betting her individually on my own in my own little corner because I can't not bet her. Can't let her down. I will be so mad if I bet her last game and then I come back and she has another 20 piece and her line still is 11.5. So going back to my Italian sniper, get us right and roll. That'll help you out too. If they're gonna cover, she's gonna have to score some buckets as well.
Then I'm all in on your Italian stallion.
Let's go.
I can't say her name, so I'm not going to, but
Zandalicini, you'll get it.
Zandalicini. Okay, that's not as hard as it looks reading it.
Yeah. I told the guys on All Sauce Team the other day, I told them to go, when we get done, go and watch some of her highlights, especially over the last 5 games. She has her signature move, and she did this when she played for Italy and when she played in Europe and stuff as well, is she'll catch the ball on the wing. She's a forward. She's a bigger lady. She'll catch the ball on the wing, and she'll pump fake a 3. And then she'll watch the person fly by, and then she'll do like a Lucas step back. She'll step inside and step back and hit a shot. Sexy.
That's nice.
Sexy. And she's done it a lot recently as well. She's got a nice stroke. Good player. So anyway, Kate with Valks likes that play. I like it. We're both on AT. See what happens there. See how it fits the W curse of us being on the same play. We usually see things the same way it usually works out. So we shall see. So that's the slate. 5 games. We got through all of them pretty nicely. We've got about 10 minutes left 15 minutes left in the show to put together what we want to do on the parlay front. Anything else on this Valks game before we move on?
Nope. Let's do the parlay.
Hell yeah. I mean, we're both on AT. Should we start there?
I think we throw her in. I like your points and you had points and assists.
PA, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, she's gonna get her assists.
Her double doubles like minus 175, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So yeah, okay, we can do PA. You want to do PRA? Do we want to add the boards, or should we just do the PA?
I mean, her boards recently too. She's had double-digit boards in quite a few games. I almost say we do that.
Yeah,
or are we getting too greedy? Trying to? Are we getting too cute?
No, I like it because then we're both betting individual other things. So like if she doesn't score and randomly if she doesn't facilitate, but maybe she has 15 rebounds and then we're like, then we're chilling. She can do.
Yeah, she could.
We're kind of covering our bases a little bit. All right, let's go. So AT 32.5 PRA to kick us off. Now you said Aces money line. I don't know because
that is the game that I am most kind of
just stay off.
Yeah, I'm fine staying off that one. I would prefer to take some of the other props or plays that we laid out versus the Aces.
I like your team total under for the Sky game.
Let's see if that's moved at all because someone in the chat just threw out, who was that? That Austin Atkins is in with no minutes restriction. That does not mean Angel Reese. So I still like that total even with Atkins because with her, it's still 73.5. I like that play. I think that's a little too high.
73.5 for the home team points right now. So the Sky there. So do you like that one in here, or would you rather go another direction? Do you rather go with McBride, or do you want to take something else? Because I dig it. I think the 73.5 is too high.
No, I like the 73.5.
All right, let's go the under there then. All right. Do you want to go in this Liberty Lynx game? Do we want to roll with Williams, or do we want to roll with McBride? I like both, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm good with either. I'm good with McBride.
Let's let chat decide.
All
See
right.
what chat says. Chat, what do you guys want to do? We're going to put in something from this Lynx Liberty game. Would you guys like to go McBride, or would you like to go Courtney Williams? Chef said McBride. So Chef's vote is McBride.
All right, 1 vote for McBride.
Let me just make sure it's still 15.5 here.
McBride
from Owen. Yeah, chat. All right. Just say you like Kate better than me. Sheesh. I'm just kidding. McBride 15.5. Let's go 15 plus. Let's cut the hook.
Okay.
McBride,
wow, a lot of people on McBride already today.
They're just sucking up to you because they want to be on your good side.
Watch us all lose together.
Hey, at least we're gonna do it together, whatever
Yeah.
it is. All right, McBride 15 plus. Just cutting the hook there. You can take the 15.5 for more juice if you want to. All right, last leg. Let's make it a 4-legger, just because it's a 5-game slate. Do we stay away from that Mystic Sun game completely?
I think so. Well, who did you have in that one?
Tina Charles, PR.
Oh, I mean, the lines are moving in favor of the Sun. So if we were going to take anyone in that game, I think you take a Sun player. I'm good with Tina Charles.
My
You're
other
right.
argument.
Okay, go ahead.
My other argument is that I think we got to do something in the Aces Dream game because I would hate if the Sun just don't show up and it turns into just an absolute disaster, and then we get a masterclass in Las Vegas and we have no beans in that game in the parlay. You know.
Well, what if we do Asia? Like
And get down
Asia's
with
going to show up.
Yeah, Asia gonna play. So or I was gonna say we could go Gray, either one. But if you want to go Asia, I'm down. Totally down to fall into that ship. Or go down with that ship is the way you say that. 37. Wow, her PRA dropped. That's nice for me. Terrible CLV, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. 37.5 is her PRA line. You want to do that? Let me just double check what the PR is. 34.5. You want to go 37.5 PRA, or do you want to go 34.5 PR?
PRA.
PRA? All right.
Austin's with
All right.
PRA.
Austin likes it. I lost some value, but that's okay. Whatever. Plus 983. That does the job. So Alyssa Thomas over 32.5 PRA chat. The under, we have put an under in here. The under 73.5 total points for the Chicago Sky. Kayla McBride, 15 plus points, and Asia Wilson over 37.5 PRA plus 983. Pretty much plus 1,000, depending on where you shop.
That's pretty good.
That's nice. That'll work. All right, there you go, chat. If you want to tail, feel free to do so. We will post this on the timeline. If you'd like to get involved, give us a follow at Your Betting News if you haven't already. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already, but if it's your first time being here, give us a follow. Plus, we got some boosts if you want to get frisky with it, but plus 1,000 pretty much. All right, Kate. As we asked, as we talked, let's have a little cup of coffee fun since chat asked for it. And I know Owen's probably going to say it in a minute of where's the lotto, so we can just go straight to it right now.
I think we have to go Alicia Gray. Her 3 is part of that lotto.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to clip the moment later where you're talking about it and it smacks. First half, probably. All right.
Yeah,
Alicia
right?
Gray, 4 threes. Okay. That one's. I'm going to go. Oh, see, this is where it can get fun. I want to go Burton, 15 plus points.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Or Sandelicini, 15 plus points. The bounce back. Burton is plus 285. Zandelicini's plus 176.
Burton. Oh, Burton. I was thinking McBride. Burton. Yeah. I want you to pick that one because I can't be the one to pick that and then it goes wrong. You're locked in on both of those.
Welcome. It's okay. It's gonna happen
know.
many times. Don't worry. It's okay. Burton 10. I ran Burton 15 earlier. Let's go Burton. Chat wants to do Burton. Better value plus 285. Again, I'm gonna have some Zandelicini stock by myself, so it's fine. All right. So Burton 15 plus. Alicia Gray 4 threes. Do we roll with? Kind of like the Malonga rebounding play, laddered up a little bit. 8+ is plus 134.
I'm good with
10.
that.
The line is just falling like crazy.
It just kind of depends on if Angel plays, but I don't think Angel's going to be that big of an issue if she does play. Like she's coming back from a back injury. Do we really think she's pulling down like 15 boards tonight?
No, I don't even think she's going to play full minutes, to be honest.
I don't think she does.
I'd be surprised.
So I think I like that one.
Okay. I'll go Malonga then. What's the 10? Just for curiosity. Plus 280. That's a lotto. Let's do it. Plus 280. So Dominic Malonga, 10 boards. Veronica Burton, 15 points. Alicia Gray, 4 3-pointers. Plus 62.84 for those 3 legs.
Love it. That
is a spicy meatball right there. That'll do. A cup of coffee gets you a bunch of cups of coffee, Chad.
Yeah, it does.
So lots of little cups. You can buy a whole coffee machine with that one. Malonga 10 boards, Veronica Burton 15 points, Alicia Gray 4 threes. As always, we've talked about a lot of different bets, a lot of different angles. You guys put together your own parlays. That's the best part, and have some fun. And obviously, straight bet to make the money in the long term. You guys know the deal. Let's run through our plays one more time, and then we'll get out of here. Should be a good slate tonight. Which game, before we jump into which game are you looking forward to the most? Like, which one is like really piquing your interest on? Which one, like,
the Aces Dream game, I think, is going to be phenomenal. I think that's going to be the best game of the night. Lynx Liberty too. Like, you can't go wrong with those teams. But without Nafisa Collier, like, you pretty much have fully healthy lineups for Dream and Aces. So I think that's going to be the best one.
I said we're going to run through it now, but I want to pick your brain about this. As you probably are a big fan of Collier too, as a Minnesota person. So I would assume you want her to win the MVP. And I think in theory she should. But do you think right now, looking at it, that she's still got it locked up? Or what is your opinion?
I think she needs to come back. And I know she's like right on the cusp of coming back. But she's down to minus 250 at a couple places I've seen. So, like, it's getting spicy. I wish I had some Asia Wilson in my pocket like you, because if Asia continues to put up these numbers, if she continues to be the reason that the Aces are climbing in the standings, like, we're going to have a very close race down the stretch. Yes, I would like Collier to win, being a Lynx native, a Minnesota native. And I just like Nafisa Collier. I think she's an awesome player. And I mean, unbelievable until she got hurt. Clearly the best player in the league. So I think she deserves it for like the season long. Like, I know you get docked when you're injured, and that's just part of the game. But if we're talking about who was the best player for the entirety that they were on the floor this year, to me, that's Nafisa Collier.
Minus 350 is what I'm looking at right now. Thomas plus 470 and Asia plus 600. So, I mean, you're still getting plus 600, which is not bad.
Yeah.
You want to dabble in that. But yeah, the 45 to 1 is really nice to look at in the slips. But I think Collier should win it. I kind of want her to. Like, she deserves it, like you said. But I think I can agree that all three of these ladies at this point have really strong cases to win this season. Asia's done it previously. Has AT ever won an MVP? Has she won MVP
That's
before?
a good question.
Back at her time with the Sun. She was good enough to, for sure. I just don't know off the top of my head if she's won one. But all three deserving. And I think it would be cool to see any of them win, so it'd be fine. But, like, it would be sad to watch Collier be great and then just have it not be because of an injury to win. So
yeah. I don't think Alyssa Thomas has won MVP.
Really? That's surprising. So that would be cool, because she's obviously an older player, been around quite a long time.
Yeah.
And she's been amazing. So
yeah.
It's going to be fun down the stretch, though, like you mentioned. Especially, it seems like Collier was thinking about maybe coming back today. So I know,
which makes me think she'll be back fairly soon, which, 2-3 good games, and that'll kind of bolster her numbers for her odds, I think.
As long as she's healthy. You'd hate for her to come back and try to push to come back early because of all this clamor and push it. And because not only the ankle was the reason why she's been out the last, 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, that back was a problem earlier in the season. So that could be something that could flare up too. So hopefully, fingers crossed, when she does come back, that she's good to go into the playoffs as well. Because you want them, at this point, we want the best teams to be as healthy as possible, regardless of who you root for, because you just want good playoff situations. So that's all you can really hope for in these last little 10-game stretch. All right, plays for you guys. Here we go. We've got, I am on Courtney Williams in the first game over 25.5 PRA. Kate likes Miss Kayla McBride.
Yep. Kayla McBride over 15.5 points tonight. She's been awesome against the Liberty this season.
Hell yeah. We'll go to this game. Kate, no plays in this one specifically, but I am going back to my low goat and Tina Charles over 21.5 points and rebounds in a game that just show up, son. Just be there. Just play basketball a little bit. Next one for me in the Sky game, Dominic Malonga over 6 rebounds as well. Kate is fading the Sky.
Yep. Fading the Sky, fading that offense. And then I am going Valkyries +7, +6.5. If that's what you can find out there, I think that's the number that's out right now. I think that's fine as well. And then Alyssa Thomas over 14.5 points. And you are going Alyssa Thomas over PA points and assists.
Just have a good night, AT. Get yourself a little closer to your first MVP. Have a good one. Why not? Please and thank you. Did sprinkle the TD if you're feeling frisky. But yeah, both of us on Alyssa Thomas in different ways. And hopefully that game should be a good one tonight as well. Guys, thanks for tuning in today for the W. We appreciate you guys stopping by and kicking it with us. Hope we help you make some money tonight in the WNBA as we get into the finishing home stretch of the season. We'll be back with you guys next week, next Tuesday, to break down the next slate next week, which will be kind of giving you guys the moves and the plays. Lots of games between now and then. So the playoff picture could look a lot different when we have this discussion next Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. Big dubs all around in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Go follow Kate if you guys haven't already on the social media machine at Kate Constable. Go get involved with all of her swimming content as well across all the other socials too. Go follow me at Sweatpant Jesus. Go follow all of us at Your Betting News and go check us out anywhere and everywhere. And go check us out at bettingnews.com. Kate's been putting out some articles for you guys as well, getting closer and closer to football. I really liked your Bengals piece. I did not end up tailing you on the Bengals -1.5, which was air. I ended up taking the first half.
Bears game. That was Bears. Their first half under in that one. I mean, I'm good reason it didn't hit. Bears offense looked awesome, but
yeah. I was gonna let that go by and just only talk the Bengals game. So shout out to you.
No, we gotta share our losses too.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Article coming out on Hawaii and Stanford later this week.
College football, baby.
Let's go. It's back.
Kate's super deep in the college life. She's going to be with the guys tomorrow on Up Your Units to talk a little bit about some WNBA drama tomorrow with Mr. Marcio and Shags, and also get you guys ready for week 0 as well. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of content. Also, we dropped this on the timeline today. A lot of you guys have been asking us. We are having our second annual meetup in Chicago the weekend of October the 9th through the 13th. It will be the 10th of October. The Saturday is when we'll have a lot of meet and greets. We'll be doing some fun meetups and things like that with you guys. So if you are either in the Chicago area or you live close to Chicago, a lot of you guys are actually flying in to come and hang out with us in Chicago. Last year was awesome. This year's going to be way better. Kate's going to be there in person because she lives in Chicago. Well, I don't know. I'm assuming you're going to stop by for something.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
Oh yeah, Danny's going to be there. All the goats are going to be there. A lot of you guys in chat are going to be there too. We're going to have some fun with you guys. You'll get to also see Betsky in person, which is just the greatest experience of all time. And I'm sure we'll get into some frivolity as well. So check that out on the timeline. Also, we got a big announcement coming later this week as well. We have a new partnership that we're going to be doing with you guys, some new tools that we're going to be showing off right here on the channel. And then Shags is going to give you guys the first breakthrough one on Saturday to get you guys ready for week 0. So lots of fun stuff moving forward. Give us a follow right here on Twitch or on YouTube, wherever you're consuming this content. Give us a like. It really helps us spread the channel, give you guys the free content. And all we ask is for a little thumbs up and some love for sharing everything around. So, Kate, it's been fun. Got anything else for the kids before we hop up out of here?
That's it. Enjoy some W tonight.
Enjoy some W indeed. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. You guys came for the winners and you stayed for the vibes. As I said, the guys will be live tomorrow for Up Your Units at 5 o'clock Eastern with Ms. Constable to talk all about the fun on Wednesday. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Have a fantastic Tuesday night. We'll see you on the next one. Peace, chat.
What you know about rolling down in the